Coronavirus Diaries, 48 hours in, and there's some big news. We're no longer locked into our rooms, and I have a special guest in my room for the first time, Ian Dilly.
Hey, Gregor! It's been so long.
We look like Easter eggs.
Oh, man.
What, you watched Omloop today on your television, on Flow streaming.
Yeah.
It's a cool race.
Exciting race. We'll get into that, but let's run down.
It's been hectic.
What happened since we woke up this morning and talked about what we ate for breakfast.
What did you have for breakfast, Ian?
Well, hopefully everybody saw in the video that I had. I did actually save the egg salad sandwich for later. Mostly had the fruit and then just sort of like anxiety ate all the pastries. But
I saw the egg salad sandwich. That looked dangerous, and you had it setting in the sun there.
Anyways, throughout the day, we were getting updates. When we woke up, 160 people with the race organization had been tested negative. There were still almost 400 to go. Then we got an update later in the day.
It was a lot of anxiety all day.
Yeah, 450 people had tested negative for coronavirus. There were still 150 tests or so to complete. And then when I was watching Omloop, when you were watching Omloop, or no, before that actually, then we got this weird phone call.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
One of our colleagues got one, and then you got it.
I got a weird phone call from the Abu Dhabi Health Ministry where they asked me if my test came back negative.
This is good.
Would I still like to stay in the UAE for a 14-day quarantine, or would I prefer to go back home?
That seems like a no-brainer.
I did say that I would prefer to go back home.
And then what did they say?
They said, okay, we'll make note of that. They gave me a support line. They were super helpful.
I never got the call. And then during Omloop at Newsblot, we got that message, which was strange. And we got a message saying different points. And so at that point, it looked like we were going to be heading home. But one of the strange things was everybody has to go home to the country which is on their passport. And so for me and also for a lot of the riders, we live in different countries. I live in Italy, so what am I going to do? Fly to the U.S. and then fly back to Italy?
Your family, you could come home to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Visit your cousins and maybe stop by Flo. We have free lunch on Tuesdays, and then go back and cover Strade Bianche.
Well, I pushed, and it turns out I'm flying to Italy, Bologna as planned, where its cases are skyrocketing there. We just saw in the news over 1,000 cases now in Italy, so we'll have to...
You're not out of the weeds yet.
No, I'm not. But we also heard from some of the riders, they're still being told they have to go to their home countries, and I think they're having meetings now, all the riders, about whether or not if they have to go home to the countries on their passports, or if they can go where they actually have their home in whatever country that may be.
Yeah, let's talk about how some of the riders were dealing with this, because we were checking in with them this morning, and some entertaining updates. Relatively nice exercise bikes over there. They're staying at the hotel right inside the Abu Dhabi F1 track that actually give you wattage percentages. Chris Froome was doing some calisthenics, riding a bike. So, yeah, a very strange and somewhat surreal scene, but also, cool that these are professional athletes and they're under quarantine, but they wake up on the day 2 of quarantine and go to the gym and get a workout in.
Yeah, but only 5 stationary bikes by some of our insiders count. And only one rider out of the 133 that finished the race 48 hours ago, stage 5 it was, only one rider had a stationary bike. And it's one of Ian's favorite riders, and you might have noticed on some of the interviews, a guy with a beard, world hour record holder,
Victor Campenertz
had a stationary trainer.
He had a trainer
in his own turbo trainer.
Room. We'll follow up with him later in the year on how he managed to have his own stationary trainer's room. But he's a very resourceful and smart individual. So
yeah, he could have won the Tour de France if they were all locked down here for 2 weeks, and the only guy with the turbo trainer. Like he would have come out of the UAE flying.
That's true.
What's going to happen next? Because we're told, and Ian, you got the letter there.
Yeah.
So we're given this letter. It's all in Arabic, but basically it says that we have to be quarantined for 2 weeks when we get home. So what's going to happen to the RCS races, given all the RCS staff is here and they have to stay in their houses when they get back to Italy?
I mean, there's a lot to sort out. I mean, we're making a sort of light of this situation. We're obviously in good moods because we're getting to kind of move on with our lives and leave these hotel rooms, which we've literally been trapped in for the last couple of days. But no, I mean, this is a serious disease, and I'm going home to 2 young children, I'm sorry, mom and dad, but elderly adults who I have contact with every single day. So there's certainly concern on my end, even though I've tested negative, even though, I haven't, to my knowledge, had any direct contact with people who've tested positive for coronavirus. This certainly isn't the end of the story, but I would rather be home where I do have my own trainer rather than in the UAE.
So the speculation for me on those races, I'm hoping for the best, but from what I'm hearing, it kind of seems very hard that RCS is going to be able to run at least Strade Bianche, which is coming up on Saturday, only a week away, in Siena in Tuscany, where cases are skyrocketing and riders are going to be afraid to fly into Italy. But let's hope for the best. I hope they run that. It's a beautiful race.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that RCS is doing their best to pull it off. I've heard from insiders that they are moving forward as if the race is going to happen. And I think the whole world is figuring out what to do, and the cycling world certainly isn't the only one dealing with the ramifications of the spread of coronavirus. I mean, even within the sports world, you've got to look at the Olympics and wonder what's going to happen with that. The Strider World Cup, where
in Japan, I
race
heard about
balance
that.
bikes. The Strider World Cup in Japan was recently canceled.
And the triathlon championships that they were going to be having here in the UAE, I'm not sure what level it was, what category, but they've canceled that too. So so there are other events being canceled, not just the UAE Tour, the last final 2 stages, but it's all being shaped, and we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, no, certainly serious.
I won't be needing this anymore, which my UAE press pass.
Certainly serious ramifications across, and this isn't the end of the story, and I have a feeling we'll be reporting more on coronavirus throughout the season, but hopefully not directly impacting us, and I certainly hope I don't have to have another coronavirus test in the near future.
I must say the UAE has been cool, like from the Hada Dam up to Jebel Hafit, and you had some great bike riding. I enjoyed seeing that footage, and we also enjoyed doing the video shots in the car and walking along. It's
a huge bummer. We're having a great time at this race, and we're producing a feature about cycling culture in the UAE. We went to Wolfie's bike shop. I got to ride up Jebel Hafit. We explored the Al Qudra cycle track. So a lot of the positives about this event, a lot of the positives about the UAE have been diminished by what we've gone through over the last 48 hours. But at the same time, everybody's in a difficult situation, and RCS and the UAE Health Ministry are doing their best to just proceed through and put everybody's health as a priority.
The big question is, do you have your bike packed?
I did. Gregor was very, very optimistic that we were going to get out of here on our planned flights, which are actually tomorrow morning. We're leaving at 4 a.m. or so. 5. We're leaving at 5. And you were like, pack your bike. And I was a little down in the dumps, and I was like, what's the point? We're going to be here for months.
Ian was looking at alternative flights to fly out already on Monday. You were talking about flying to San Francisco, maybe seeing some family. I said, Ian, pack your bike. As soon as we get the call, we got to get out of this hotel and get to Dubai, which is about an hour and a half down the road from where we're at now in Abu Dhabi at the Crown Plaza Hotel. And so I'm looking forward. Yeah. Oddly enough, I'm looking forward to getting up at 4 a.m. to leave at 5 a.m. tomorrow. You better be on time this time.
I'm always on time. Very, very organized and punctual. Yeah. So hopefully this is our last quarantine diary, but no promises.
Yeah, stay tuned.